Without further ado, let us read another section from In Love at Ease, Everyday Spirituality with Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Here we are finally starting chapter 2, which is In Love is the name. Subtitle, Bhakti Personified. Bhakti meaning love and devotion, or loving devotion. Part 1. Loving the divine in all of creation. Ooh, I'm excited for this already. Here we are reading from the perspective of the author, Yogi Trivedi, who was a devotee, and still is, of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, although Swami Shri has left his body. I was in Gondal in the days leading up to Diwali in 2016, the first after my guru's passing away. The mood around the BAPS Swaminarayan Mandir campus, the BAPS being the organization which Pramukh Swami was the head of, and the city, to a certain extent, was mellow, since most were remembering the laughter and light during the festivities in Swami Shri's presence. Gondal stood apart as one of the more advanced princely states in Gujarat at the turn of the 20th century. It was the epicenter of cultural and educational innovation in the region. Maharaja Bhagwat Singh Ji, the king of Gondal from 1869 to 1944, had drawn from his time in London and Edinburgh to create a modern city with street lights, advanced sewage systems, telegraph and telephone cables, and model primary schools. He also instituted compulsory education for young girls until the 4th grade. His passion for education and research resulted in the publication of the first ever Gujarati dictionary, the Bhagavad Gomandal. For the Swaminarayan community, based around the worship and devotion of a great being known as Swaminarayan, Gondal is one of the most visited pilgrimage sites. Bhagwan Swaminarayan, its first spiritual successor, Gunatinanand Swami, from 1784 to 1867, was cremated in Gondal. The Akshar Deri shrine commemorates this significant location. In 1940, Shastri Narayan Swarup Das, also known here as Swami Shri, was initiated as a sadhu at the Akshar Deri. Swami Shri's guru, Yogi Ji Maharaj, whom the play that we'll be meditating on later is about, incidentally, celebrated several festivals every year in Gondal, and Swami Shri continued this tradition until he settled in Sarangpur in his later years. For all these reasons, I spent a good portion of my early trips to India at the Mandir in Gondal. And that is right, Gregorji. BAPS is an acronym standing for, here we go, Bocha Sanwasi Akshar Purushottam Swaminarayan Santa. A mouthful. The sun bore down heavily during the day in Gondal, but the moon of the Sharad season, fall, cooled temperatures enough for one to enjoy an evening stroll. The night had settled enough one evening for me to hear the soothing sound of flowing waters of the Gondali river behind the mandir. The monsoon had just passed, and the water in the river was a refreshing sight for the pilgrims, and also, unfortunately, mosquitoes the size of horseflies. I had to keep walking, or they would feast on my arms and feet. Through my continuous pace, interrupted with erratic swats to deter the mosquitoes, I noticed a Sadguru, a senior-most sadhu in the community, after the Guru. Svayamprakashdas Swami, also known as Dr. Swami, out for his nightly walk. I joined him in the foyer of the sadhu's residence. My mind was racing with thoughts of separation from my late Guru and worries about how I would continue my personal spiritual journey. He sensed my unease and asked me what was on my mind. The spiritual journey confuses me. It is complicated, and I am worried about the ifs, whens, and hows. He stopped walking and held my hand to maintain his balance. I used to overthink spirituality too, until Pramukh Swami Maharaj's Guru, Yogi Maharaj, addressed a few of us in Kapolwadi, Mumbai. Our conversation with him that afternoon changed our lives. It is why I am here today. I am hoping that it will benefit you too. Yogi Maharaj said, God is our mother and father. This Kapolwadi is our home. These bhaktas, devotees, and sadhus, monks, are our family. The spiritual journey is simple: to love, serve, and value those we live with and the world we live in. To love and experience the divine within us, and to love and have faith in God and Guru. Love, bhakti, for the divine is spirituality. Quite simple. Pramukh Swami Maharaj has shown us the path. He was always in love, bhakti maya, immersed in bhakti. Love can be easy to spark, yet difficult to sustain. Easy to feel, yet difficult to articulate. But why? Perhaps for the fear of vulnerability and abandonment. The expectations of reciprocation and appreciation. Love can be the means to fill a void. Sometimes love can be used to feel better about oneself. What if there is a way to love from a place of fulfillment and not from a place of despair? What if there exists selfless, unconditional love that is driven by the yearning to give? Love that is warm, constant, non-judgmental, and forgiving. A love that touches humans, but feels divine. A love that is contagious and at once respectful of the other's boundaries. A love that is not just spoken about from a pulpit or written about in books, but is part of people's lives. A love that is comforting to the world, kind to oneself, and driven by faith in the divine. This love, bhakti, is the cornerstone of Pramukh Swami Maharaj's spirituality. His love is Bhakti personified. The word Bhakti is derived from the Sanskrit verbal root bhaj. To share, feed, come together, bond, indulge, receive, give, worship, honor, possess, adore, prefer, engage, or appreciate. If that is not love, what is? It describes a relationship of give and take between the human and the divine, the lover and the beloved. Bhakti is the foundation of spirituality in the Swaminarayan tradition and in most Hindu traditions. Sikhs, Jains, and many Buddhists articulate their love for the divine through a similar personal relationship of service and submission. Though bhakti is commonly translated as devotion in English, which I am certainly guilty for doing, it is so much more. In bhakti, God is not abstract or distant, but speaks with you, listens to you, and accepts your offerings in various forms. Bhakti is that bond that holds together communities, families, people, the creation, and its creator. Bhakti is the purest form of love for all of God's creation, and anywhere else one finds divinity. This form of divinity resides not only in sacred images or the words of God, but in all of its creation and within oneself. Pramukh Swami Maharaj had perfected this vision and inspired it in those around him. Swami Shri's love melted hearts and boundaries and encouraged faith and unity. It built a community that changed the way they interacted with the divine in themselves and the world around them. I turn to these quote-unquote love stories in 3 distinct parts in this chapter. Part 1 explains how Pramukh Swami Maharaj was in love, so to speak, with all of creation. Part 2 speaks of his self-love, experiencing his Atman, true inner self, beyond the body and mind. Part 3 describes his love for God and his gurus. By the way, it was indirectly implied, but his guru was Yogi Swami Maharaj, whom we will be watching a short play about after this, as I mentioned. This broad type and range of love was based on a simple formula of understanding all of creation as manifestation of his beloved, Bhagwan Swaminarayan. The source of his strength to love those around him so selflessly, while maintaining a sense of equilibrium within himself, was his love for the divine in an obsequious manner. That's a new word for me, obsequious, and I love the way it sounds already. It is this secret to being, quote-unquote, in love that may benefit us in our daily interactions with the divine, within and beyond us. Love for all that helps one find the self, and ultimately the divine, is the paramount learning acquired through bhakti on the spiritual path. It is by far the greatest learning from Swami Shri's life. For Swami Shri, bhakti was not just love expressed through mere words. It was articulated through intent, sacrifice, empathy, and selfless generosity. It was a state of being. He did not just love, he remained in love. Swami Shri's love was sacred to millions. It gave them renewed hope to continue their pursuit of spirituality in this world and to the next. Swami Shri's love fills the pages of this chapter. Out of respect for the profound relationship between the Guru and the subjects of his love, I reflect and observe in silence. Here, I let these love stories speak for themselves. And we will listen to these love stories next time. But what an amazing introduction to them. Yogi Ji? Well, we will be learning about another Yogi Ji. Here I am talking about the author, Yogi, addressed endearingly, Ji Trivedi, has effortlessly put together words in such a combination which sparks, pardon me, so much love, bhakti. I look forward to the continuing of this chapter soon. As I mentioned, as we read, we discussed how the successor of Yogi Ji Swami Maharaj was Pramukh Swami Maharaj. And now again today, he has been succeeded by another Swami, Mahant Swami Maharaj. But let us learn about the Guru of Pramukh Swami Maharaj by watching a short shadow play